I agree. I mean, it's easy enough. Okay, let's back up. Not that it's easy enough, but it's relatively easy to explain how to do threat modeling. What everyone stumbles upon is, okay, how do I fit into my organization? It's all fine and good to give me a tool or give me a process that begins and ends with threat modeling, but how do I fit it into my daily activities, my sprint activities, my post-sprint activities?
I'm noting that one down, certainly that if there is a summit next year, which there is bound to be, that's going to be at least one of two sessions that I'm definitely putting on the schedule, creating this kind of a case study of a completely fictional organization, which is basically the people in the room are going to have some experiences, and we're going to throw those together in a fictional organization, because else we really can't talk about any of that stuff with the NDAs that we sign. But we're gonna create this really horrible organization where everything goes wrong and come up with some kind of a guideline on how to do things better, which lots of other companies will recognize, like these are problems that we have, we don't have this problem, but at least they will have something. At least that would be, I'm not saying that we would be able to actually do that, but it would be a noble thing to actually try that one out. We have done and failed many noble things on summits in the past, so I don't mind that. So, can we have a quick recap of the outcomes that you have already noted down?
Sure, so we had reverse attack three examples, useful way of using attack trace.
Yeah.
We have a good theoretical methodology, is something that can be used, has examples, and is consumable. We have the need to do better at communicating with technical and business stakeholders in communicating the value of threat modeling. We have to create the value statements. We have to need a unified language for communicating threats. And the last one, we need guidelines for examples on how to keep it up to date threat modeling.
Yeah. So we, I think of everything in there that was discussed. Is there anybody who doesn't agree with what was just said? Because it's the outcome is generally what we decide that is indeed what needed to be done. Other people might not agree later on, but at least we are all in agreement that this is something that we would support if we are asked to. So everybody agrees with these statements.
Sorry, can we repeat that again? Feedback or statements? Actual statements that we agree with?
Sure. So we have reverse attack three examples, useful way of using attack trace. A good threat tool methodology is something that can be reused, has examples, and is consumable. We need to be better at communicating with technical and business stakeholders in communicating the value of threat modeling. Do we create a value statement? Do we need a unified language for communicating threats? And we need guidelines that are examples on how to keep an up-to-date threat model.
I would agree with everything except the creation of attack trees. Personally, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's why she wanted at least I just the reverse attack trees, because then it gives some value at least to her. But we could add right after that sentence that there was no unanimity on that statement.
Attack is also kind of a tactical.
Yeah.
We're talking a little bit higher than tactical stuff, aren't we?
It's a strategic operation.
Yeah, we're talking about strategic and operational stuff, not an attack tree is a tactical. And our discussion has been mostly centered on strategic and operational.
Yeah, it just it came up and it was an interesting discussion. And if you feel strongly about this, we can just add that that the usefulness of that thing was not unanimous, then we'll just add that. Or if you say like, it's just my opinion, you don't need to even mention that it was not a unanimous statement, that this could be something useful.
I think we should be mentioning one particular model like an attack tree or stride I think that's the problem with this.
Or would leave
mentioning
it?
one particular
Oh, yeah,
methodology
yeah.
in an attack tree or
Yeah,
Stride.
exactly, we should be one level higher,
Yeah.
yeah. I
We
think
should
that's
not
all
be
time.
mentioning it as a conclusion, because each of us is using a different model and everyone has strong opinions on
Yeah.
their own ways of
So
working.
you want that line moved to the actual node. So there is three things in the outcome. You have a description of what we were supposed to do. We have the actual outcomes, to which also like the line on the goal of threat modeling will be added. And then there is some like future work in which I will put the line for the next summit. And then in the actual page of this session, I usually also just paste all the notes that people took, and then it will just be in the notes for people to read about. There's some other really useful stuff in the notes that are not necessarily mentioned in the outcomes, but that's for people who do the extra effort of actually reading the notes, of course. Except if you already were here, because then in theory you will remember it. In practice a little bit less for me, but
Could you repeat that sentence on that everything?
Sure. Reverse attack trees examples. A useful way of using attack trees. And in parentheses, attached to deliver.
Perhaps you could just change that to examples of different threat modeling methodologies and their advantages.
it's actually just a technique, it's not even a threat model methodology really. An attack tree is just a technique you use to discover something. So it's basically just a technique, I wouldn't even call it a methodology. So to close off this session, I started it off with a highly opinionated statement saying that since the 80s we didn't actually do anything anymore in threat modeling. Of course that's not truly what I believe, else I would not be the co-leader of this project, because that would mean that I haven't done anything in the past years. So we have discussed a whole range of interesting things. If you have other things you want to discuss or other things pop up later, I do advise you to go on the OWASP Slack channel for threat modeling and start putting things on there. I specifically started from the 80s because I know there are people in the room who have done research on new things. It was presented on Monday, so it was quite clear that things have been done since that time. So just so that everybody understands, I just needed to make a very opinionated statement to get a discussion going. It's not that I truly believe this statement.
There was no Microsoft.
I have to say that is really true. Yes.
I will post some related research based on what I heard today on Slack, because some of the things were mentioned,
Yeah.
something similar from research, so just to share and see if it makes sense.
And I will try to discuss a way that we can have something on how to use user stories in threat modeling, some knowledge of that published, get into the open, but then not by you. Okay, so thank you. We're gonna close it off here because that leaves some time for the people taking notes and things like that to actually get their stuff done in the time frame of a session. And then it's going to be lunch in 10 minutes, or a keynote first and then lunch, or lunch and then a keynote. I don't remember the schedule exactly.
There's a photo as well, I believe.